What's going on, YouTube? This is Terminator Juice. I don't usually do this, but I'm going to do a video response. Dr. Trey 81 made a video about Super Mario 3D World. People are going to be eating crow, and this isn't a negative response. This is a positive. I agree with what he says. I just want to add a few details and expand some of the points he made. So if you haven't seen that video, basically he says people are writing off the Wii U's 3D Mario game based off the short trailer they saw in the Direct and some of the footage that have been shown so far, and basically saying, you know, you don't know until you play the game, and just like with basically every other game in history, you shouldn't write off a game or go pre-order it based off of an initial trailer or any initial gameplay they show on a demo. That's just stupid. You should be open-minded. Don't get too excited, but don't get too down on something based off of just like the very first trailer ever shown and then a 5 level demo. For any game, you should just keep an open mind, keep following the game's progress till it's released, maybe read some reviews and stuff like that. I mean, there's no reason to hate a game based off a trailer. There's no reason to fall in love with one and say, oh, I'm going to pre-order that. So with that being said, you definitely shouldn't doubt Nintendo's top internal team. I mean, if you're going to doubt a game, don't doubt one made by Nintendo's internal team that's responsible for the Galaxy series, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario 3D Land. Other than Sunshine was their first project on a Mario game, 3D Mario game, and it was pretty good. You know, it had its faults, but you know that their next game was Super Mario Galaxy. I mean, one of the best games of all time, followed by Galaxy 2, an even better game. One of probably, in my opinion, the best Mario game ever made, the best 3D platformer ever made, just one of the best games ever made. So they have a good track record. That alone should be a reason enough not to doubt this game. But also, I'm not going to hype myself up so much that I'm going to be hugely disappointed. Like Trey said, you know, it is slightly disappointing for anyone expecting, like myself, expecting like Galaxy 3 or Galaxy Universe or just huge game just pushing the visuals to just unbelievable levels, you know. That's kind of what I was expecting. I was slightly disappointed when I first saw it, but I played it. If you see this around my neck, I went to the Wii U E3 at Best Buy, played the game. First of all, it looks beautiful. It looks amazing. That game, I tried to think of a way to describe anyone that's played the Rayman Legends demo, seen that running in 1080, a 2D game. Super Mario 3D World looks like that, but a 3D game, polygons, and it just doesn't have that hand-drawn art style, but it's just clean. It's just an amazing looking game. The controls were tight, were just amazing. The 4-player was really fun. The 5 levels, I played 2 myself and watched the other levels being played, and it looked like a fun game. More than fun, it looked like a really fun game, especially if you got people over. Could be something. Looks like a better co-op experience than the new Super Mario Brothers series. So looks awesome. It really fun. So what else do you need in a game? What else do you, I mean, you don't need a game to be revolutionary every single time. Like Galaxy, like people doubted Galaxy 2. They said, oh, it's Galaxy 1.5. Turned out to be a way better game, way more creative level design. It's like the first game was testing the waters. The second game, they went all out, was just an amazing game. One of the worlds was a Super Mario 64 level, and which is kind of what some of the Super Mario 3D World levels look like, just smaller levels, but there's just so much to do, and Galaxy 2 was just an amazing game, and everyone doubted it before it came out. They saw the trailer. Oh, it's just this should have been DLC on an if this was Xbox or PS3, it would have been a DLC. No, it was they raised the bar even higher with that game. So that's an example of what happens when you doubt a game, especially from this development team. Um, and like Trey said, a lot of people doubted New Super Mario Brothers Wii. They thought it was a DS port. Um, they didn't really give it any chance to be good. And yeah, the reviews were around 80%, I think. Like you said, that had some of the best level design. If you played that game through the end and got to the last couple worlds, I mean, some of the clever and just hard, tricky levels that were just would test your skills and your patience, but so rewarding when you finally beat a level. I mean, it was just amazing. I mean, most people didn't play the 4-player all the way to the end, but it's fun with multiple players, but just a single-player experience. That game was 5 times better than the DS version, and everyone just assumed it was a port. It'd be the same levels with 4-player. No, it was an all-new game. Level design was phenomenal, and it was a great game, one of the better 2D Mario games, and only topped, in my opinion, by Super Mario Brothers, New Super Mario Brothers U on the Wii U. That is, in my opinion, the finest example of 2D platforming in history. Starts off a little easy, first 2 worlds, but after that, everyone discounted that game too. I was one of them. I gotta say, I was a little disappointed when I first saw it. It looks great. I mean, I'm sure it was barely a year development time. It looks great. That has even more. Um, the level design is even better in this game. You had HD graphics. Some of the later levels just look really amazing. The controls just fine-tuned, just perfect. I mean, it's like Nintendo took all the good things from all the previous 2D Mario games and put them into one game. Added HD, added off TV play, Miiverse integration. I mean, that game, most people discount that game still, and it's, in my opinion, the best 2D Mario game ever made. And, you know, if I went back and played Super Mario World on the Virtual Console, yeah, that was a great game, and the cape's one of my favorite power-ups of all time, but without wall jumping, without the butt stomp, I mean, all the new gameplay elements over the years just make Mario just that much more enjoyable, and the level designs can be just that much more creative with the new abilities they gave Mario over the years. So you never should discount a game, but definitely don't discount a main Mario title. It's just you just shouldn't. I mean, they've pretty much, other than New Super Mario Bros. 2 on the 3DS, that one was developed by, wasn't the core team. It was kind of given to a secondary team, and that game was good, but it wasn't great. That's pretty much the most disappointing Mario game that I've played in a long time. But also, real quick, another thing people seem to be focusing on, they think that this 3D World is a placeholder to the real 3D Mario game. And I'm like, did you watch the developer interview? This is the main team. This is the Galaxy team. This is their top team. This is the game they intended from start. And if you listen to their interview, this game started for the Wii U, and then they kind of took the idea and made the 3DS game. They already had this idea in place for their next game, and then, you know, the 3DS needed a game, and they were pretty much forced into making that game and cut into the the Wii U game, obviously. Probably would have been out at launch if they didn't make the 3DS game. And he said that the 3DS game became because of the game they wanted to make for the Wii U. And that game had like a 13-month development cycle. That's really quick for a 3D platformer, and that game turned out really good. Like, a lot of people were skeptical about that game because of the short development time, and that game turned out amazing. So this is the Super Mario 3D World is the Mario game. That's the game they wanted. That's, as soon as they got done with Galaxy, this is the idea they came up with. This was their intention, to have a 4-player co-op game from the start. So anyone saying this is a placeholder, this is a cash-in, you're just being ignorant and stupid, which is the same thing. This is the game they intended. It's the game they're releasing, and you won't see another one for at least 3 years. And unless, who knows, I mean, anything can change, but I would guess at least 3 years from the launch of Super Mario 3D World, you might see the next 3D Mario game. They might do a 3DS sequel before. It might be 4 years before you see the next game. So anyway, this is longer than I wanted, but I think I agree with Trey that you shouldn't discount this game. I just wanted to expand on this point and make a few more, and hopefully he accepts this video response. And guys, leave me any comments if you agree, disagree, and we'll talk to you later.